As time went by, Bola's disregard for her family's predicament became more troubling. One evening, after she had finished her meal, she let out a loud fart. Her parents looked at her in shock, expecting an apology. But instead of saying sorry or excusing herself, she laughed and said, "Only those who eat well can fart like this. You wouldn't know because you never eat anything good." Once upon a time in Irele village, there lived a couple named Eniola and Tope. They had two daughters, Titi and Bola. Eniola and his wife Tope sold firewood in Ode Irere market. They worked hard and ensured their daughters received a quality education. Titi, their elder daughter, was a kind and hardworking young woman. She had inherited her parents' hustling spirit and was always willing to lend a helping hand. Bola, the younger daughter, was ambitious and sometimes selfish. They grew up under their parents' loving but watchful eyes. Eniola and his wife Tope worked hard. They chopped wood in the forest and carried them to the market to sell. After spending their day in the market, they returned home with body ache every evening. Titi and Bola excelled in their studies, and ever responsible Titi took on a part-time job to earn a little money to take care of her needs and ease her parents' burdens, while she hoped and waited for a better job. Bola had always had the biggest dreams and couldn't just take up any job. She waited and struggled to get a good job, and fortunately for her, she got herself a well-paying job in a neighboring town. The job opportunity was a rare one for someone from their humble background, but she was lucky to have gotten it. Eniola and his family were happy for her success and hoped it would herald better days for them all. Titi had been working, and with the little she earned, she supported the family, buying groceries and paying part of their rent. And when Bola got this job, the family were hopeful that the new income would help ease their financial struggles, since the little Titi was contributing had changed a lot in their home. But Bola seemed to have different priorities. Her new job gave her a new sense of independence. She moved to the town but still lived with her family, commuting to work each day. As her salary started coming, she stopped eating meals prepared in their home. She began to frequent eateries, enjoying meals that her parents could not afford. Whenever she was served food at home, she would badmouth the cooking, forgetting she had fed on same food all her life. Despite her comfortable income, she never offered to assist with household expenses. Her mother often talked to her about it, hoping Bola would understand their trouble, but she never cared. Whenever there was a financial need in their family, she would claim she had no money, and this hurt her parents deeply, and they stopped asking her for money, not wanting to pressure her. One day, their landlord arrived at their door, demanding for an overdue rent. Eniola and his wife, Tope, knew that their landlord showed no mercy to his debtors, and so they pleaded for more time, but the landlord's patience had one thing. As he was talking angrily, Bola walked out of the house, unbothered about the situation, leaving her parents to face the consequences alone. Eniola's ever dutiful daughter Titi did her best to support with the rent. Though her income could not cover all the expenses, but she contributed what she could. She cooked simple meals, ensured that her parents were well fed, while her younger sister Bola spent her money on wares and good meals from fancy restaurants. One evening, as the family were having their dinner, Bola returned home carrying takeout food from an expensive restaurant. She ate in front of her family, enjoyed every bit, and never offered to share. The difference in their meal was obvious, as it hurt her parents deeply. As time went by, Bola's disregard for her family's predicament became more troubling. One evening, after she had finished her meal, she let out a loud fart. Her parents looked at her in shock, expecting an apology. But instead of saying sorry or excusing herself, she laughed and said, "Only those who eat well can fart like this. You wouldn't know because you never eat anything good." Her words cut through her parents like a knife. Her elder sister Titi was unable to control her anger, and so she confronted her. But she dismissed her concern with a wave of her hand. Bola's bad behavior towards her family members continued, and her parents' heart grew sore towards her. One evening, after another disrespectful incident, her parents cursed her with the spirits of uncontrollable farting. It was an old village belief that such a curse would befall those who showed gross disrespect to their elders and family. At first, she laughed off the curse, thinking it was a mere superstition. But as days turned into weeks, she noticed a change. Her body seemed to betray her at the most inopportune moments, and the frequency of her embarrassing incidents increased. Her condition worsened with time. Her uncontrollable farting condition became a source of embarrassment and bitterness. Her colleagues at work began to distance themselves from her, and people began to gossip. Her confidence waned as people continued to isolate themselves from her. The men who once showed interest in her stopped coming closer to her because of her condition. Her social life suffered as no one wanted to be associated with a girl who could not control her bodily functions. One night, as she sat on her bed, she began to reflect on her actions. She remembered the countless times her parents had sacrificed for her, the love and care they had shown in spite of their hardships. Tears streamed down her face, and she realized how ungrateful she had been and resolved to make amends. The next morning, she approached her parents and humbly apologized for being selfish and ungrateful. She asked that they forgive her. Though her parents were hurt by her past actions, they looked at her sorry eyes and forgave her. They told her that she must understand the importance of family and respect, and she promised to change her ways and contribute to the family's well-being. Bola worked hard to support her family and rebuild her relationship with them. She first used her savings to pay the overdue rent, started cooking meals for the family. As time continued its relentless march forward, Bola noticed a gradual decrease in her uncontrollable farting condition. The villagers, her friends and colleagues at work also noticed the change. She became more approachable, kinder, and more considerate of others. And with time, she recovered her reputation and regained the respect of her peers. Her sister got a better paying job, and the family's financial situation stabilized. Eniola and his wife Tope enjoyed the peace in their home as they could finally breathe easily, knowing their daughters were on the right path. They lived their old age enjoying the fruits of their labor in contentment and gratitude for the lives of their daughters. Hello, favorite one. Thanks for listening to my stories. Your support means the world to me, and I couldn't do this without you. Your likes, comments, and shares keep me motivated to create more stories. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the post notification bell so you never miss out on any of my new stories. Thanks again, and see you in the next story.